Clemson and Miami are headed in two different directions, and this is a huge game for them to change that or continue that depending on who you are. Clemson had a tough start to their year, and now they are looking to bounce back. And Miami is currently on a two-game losing streak. They're trying to find a way to reverse that. They're trying to find a way to make a statement, and both teams definitely need a win this weekend. Clemson has flown under the radar in terms of college football as a whole because no one's really talking about them after the loss to Florida State. This is a team that everyone expected to compete for the ACC championship, but we've just seen some concerns on both sides of the ball. But that's okay. I think that we know that there are things that they were going to have to work on. We knew that there were certain things that needed to be fixed. It's just, it was going to take time. And now we're seeing that this is a team ready to bounce back, and they get an opportunity to face a Miami team that is, I won't say reeling, but they are definitely not where they want to be. And when you look at this Clemson team, I think that you're still looking at a team that has a lot ahead of them, and they can still get to the ACC championship game and retain their crown. But a game like this is one you have to win. And it starts with an offense that I think has been solid at times, but also you look at last week, a 17-12 win is not very promising. And there's a lot that needs to change if they're going to fix that. I think that this is a team that has too much talent to struggle this much. And it's going to start with the offense. I think that the defense obviously has some things to figure out too, but it's this offense that has to be more explosive. I think with Cade Klubnik running the show, you expect certain things from him, but also it's his first year, and you can see that there's definitely still a learning curve. There's definitely something that is not quite all there yet, and he just needs time to get comfortable. And you're going to get another big game for him to showcase his talent and to be in that spotlight. And I think that you're in good hands with him. It's just a matter of giving him time to develop. And obviously, you don't have a ton of time, but now that expectations are kind of lowered because of the two losses, I think you have time to let him do what he needs to do. And then on the defense side of the ball, finding ways to be disruptive. I think so far they've done a good job. I think that this defense has been the strength so far of this team. And now you get a chance to continue doing that. And I think North Carolina gave you kind of a blueprint of how to attack Miami, especially over the last couple of weeks. We've seen them struggle, and Clemson can kind of replicate that. And even though your offense may not be as good as you want it to be, this is still a team that can use what they've learned from their mistakes and their losses, but also use what other teams have utilized against Miami so far this year. Now, Miami's season isn't over either. This is definitely in their chance to bounce back. Losing North Carolina obviously was frustrating, but you have the opportunity to bounce back in a big way. Beating a team like Clemson is a good win. That is still holds weight even with Clemson's struggles. Beating Clemson is a good way to get back on track and to keep yourself relevant in the ACC race. It's not going to be as easy, but you definitely still keep yourself afloat. The question is, what can this team do to be explosive? Because the last couple weeks, we've seen an inconsistent Tyler Van Dyke. We've seen an inconsistent passing attack, and we've seen them struggle to slow teams down. And that's going to be a big key because Clemson's offense can be explosive, though they've had their struggles. And if Miami can slow them down, then I think that you're in good hands in terms of being able to compete in this game and potentially win it. The question is, can you bounce back after two losses? There's definitely a lot going on within this program. There's a lot of controversy in terms of, certain play calling decisions, in terms of consistency of play. Are you losing the locker room for the rest of the season, or can this team bounce back? This will probably be the deciding factor for a lot. And I don't want to say guys quit, but if you lose 3 games in a row for Miami, then I think that one, the season's I'm not over, but you can't win what you want to win. And certain players that maybe have a future in the NFL are focusing on that versus what they can do for their current teammates. Not saying that they're being selfish, it's just a business decision. So this is a huge game for a lot of reasons, and finding ways to bounce back and finding ways to get back on track will do wonders for this Miami team. And obviously, when you're looking at a Clemson Miami matchup, on a given year, you would expect a lot of hype coming into this game. It's because of the matchups to watch. The hype might not be there, but the matchups still bring a lot of excitement. I think the biggest one for me is TJ Parker versus Jalen Rivers, two guys that have had big years, career years for themselves, and they get to go against each other. I think TJ Parker has stepped up because Clemson's needed explosive pass rushers. I think Xavier Thomas's reemergence and return has been huge, but TJ Parker has been the guy that has been the most explosive for this defensive front. And Jalen Rivers has done a good job for Miami's offensive line. Now they face each other, and the offensive line of Miami versus the defensive line of Clemson is really where this all makes it happen. It determines who will be the winner of this game because if Miami can't protect Tyler Van Dyke again, then it's going to be a long day, and it doesn't matter really how much Clemson struggles offensively because if their defense is getting after Tyler Van Dyke in this offense, then I don't think Miami is going to have a ton of success. So finding ways to get that pass, it really comes down to Miami's passing attack. When you look at these matchups, four of them involve the passing attack in some shape or form. You're looking at a very good passing attack that just needs time to throw, and Tyler Van Dyke just needs the ability to, or needs the opportunity to make plays. So that's going to be a big thing. So for Clemson, a key is getting to the quarterback, creating pressure. You have to find ways to do what other teams have done this year, and that is test Tyler Van Dyke. If you give him time to throw, he will shred you. He is that talented. But if you're able to create pressure, you're going to find an inconsistent Tyler Van Dyke. Testing the secondary for Clemson's offense is going to be a huge key as well. We saw what Drake May in the North Carolina passing attack did to Miami's secondary, and I think you can do similar things. You have to find ways to create separation, but I think that you have the talent necessary to do that. Stopping the run, I think that if you're looking at what you're looking to do for Miami in terms of Clemson is stopping the run obviously will help what you're trying to do defensively. But I think that getting after the passer will be a big key. But I think that an underrated part of Miami's offense is the run, and I think that you're looking at Henry Parrish who runs extremely hard, and if it really it all this really stems from the front seven. And right now, Clemson's front seven's efficiency has determined a lot about how effective they are at slowing down the offense. So stopping the run, stopping the pass, really just the front seven. So maybe this key should be the front seven efficiency. Their ability to slow down Miami's offense is going to be a big key. And for Miami on the flip side, limiting that pass rush, limiting that front seven's efficiency will be a key for them because if the front seven's not making an impact, that means Tyler Van Dyke and this offense are doing good things. A player that's flying under the radar to me for Clemson is Will Shipley. I think that his ability to create explosive plays has been kind of gone unnoticed. And Miami has to find a way to slow him down, find ways to limit him as a pass catcher, but also in the rushing attack. That will be a huge key. And then creating explosive plays. So far, we've seen certain times when Miami's done really well at that. We've also seen times where they have not done as well at that. So finding ways to create explosive plays will slow down this Clemson pass rush, and they'll make sure that Miami is in this game and plays with a ton of confidence. The quarterbacks have big opportunities here. I think Cade Klubnik has the opportunity to showcase he is still a solid quarterback and on a good trajectory. And Tyler Van Dyke is looking to show that even though his stats last week showed 391 yards and 4 touchdowns, consistency will be a key for him. I think that his ability to give Miami a good chance to win football games is really where his value is. And I think that his ability to be consistent is not always on him, but he definitely has an opportunity here against Clemson to showcase that he is still a really good quarterback and his ability to make plays will determine a lot about what Miami is able to do in terms of winning this game. When you're picking this game, Miami is not in a good place right now, but also you can't say that they're far away from Clemson. Clemson is not in the place that you wanted them to be either. And there's a lot of problems on both sides. When it's coming down to it, it comes down to who do you trust more. And right now, I trust Dabo Sweeney and Clemson to get the job done more than I trust Miami and Mario Cristobal. The last couple weeks have been rough, but also it's not going to be crazy to think that Miami can bounce back and win this game. But I think right now I trust Clemson a little bit more. Last week was obviously concerning, but if they're able to contain Miami's offense, I have no problems seeing this team coming out on top.